people, more families are homeless in Atlanta because of the pandemic, significantly more. The Gateway Homeless Center says since last year, there's been a nearly 30% increase in the number of people forced out on the streets.
Imagine for a moment that you are standing in the heart of the American South. You are in Atlanta, Georgia. It is a humid Tuesday morning in March 2025. The sun is just beginning to break over the skyline, casting long, golden shadows against the glass towers of downtown. To your left, the world of commerce is waking up. Executives in tailored suits are rushing into the headquarters of Fortune 500 companies. Tourists are lining up for tickets to the world of Coca-Cola, eager to taste the history of a global icon. The Beltline is buzzing with joggers, strollers, and the distinct energy of a city on the rise. But then, you look down. You look past the glittering facades and the manicured parks. You look into the shadows of the Interstate 20 overpass. And there, the world changes. The air here does not smell of magnolia or expensive coffee. It smells of exhaust fumes, damp concrete, and the sharp, undeniable scent of human struggle. Tents made of blue tarp and scavenged plastic line the embankment, precarious and fragile against the wind. A man, perhaps 40, perhaps 60, it is hard to tell, sits on an overturned bucket, washing his face with bottled water. A mother hushes a crying child inside a car parked quietly on a side street, the windows covered with towels to block out the prying eyes of the world.
Of landlords utilizing our existing relationships and seeking to expand those. We're also using a strategy called rapid rehousing, in which we put people in apartments and subsidize the rent.
This is Atlanta's second face. It is the face that does not make it onto the postcards or the Super Bowl commercials. It is a city within a city, populated by the displaced, the forgotten, and the invisible. Welcome to Homeless U.S. News. In this special investigative report, we are taking you deep into the heart of Atlanta's escalating homelessness crisis. We are going to move beyond the 30-second sound bites and the cold statistics. We are going to walk these streets. We are going to sit in these tents. We are going to investigate why, in a city known for its booming economy and black excellence, thousands of people are finding themselves with nowhere to go. According to the latest data from Partners for Home in 2025, the number of people experiencing homelessness in this city has climbed to over 3,100. That is a 10% jump in just 1 year. But numbers are easy to ignore. People are not. Over the next hour, we will introduce you to the human beings behind that number. We will dissect the economic forces from soaring rents to stagnant wages that are pushing working professionals onto the street. We will examine the crumbling infrastructure of care, the criminalization of poverty, and the bold, innovative solutions that might just save us. This is not a story about them. This is a story about us. This is Atlanta, the city of dreams, and the city of the lost.
Important and encouraging to see some solutions there, Aisha, because we've covered extensively unemployment, people losing their jobs, eviction, and that's where it can lead, and we're heading into cold months now.
And that really just makes me so proud to be a part of the 11 Alive team, to take the time to tell a story like that in depth, to highlight.
Part I, the scale of the invisible. To understand the magnitude of what is happening in Atlanta in 2025, you have to understand the geography of the crisis. Homelessness here is not a monolith, it is a shapeshifter. It looks different depending on which street corner you are standing on. Downtown, near Centennial Olympic Park and the 5 Points MARTA station, the crisis is visible. It is visceral. Here, roughly 40% of the city's unhoused population congregates. They are here because this is where the services are. The Gateway Center, a primary intake facility, is a beacon for those seeking a bed. But in 2025, that beacon is flickering. The center, once able to absorb the nightly influx, is now perpetually at capacity. We spoke to Crystal, a woman we met sitting on a stone wall near the park. She has a bandage over her left eye, a stark reminder of the dangers of sleeping rough. You come here thinking there's help, she told us, her voice trembling with a mixture of exhaustion and rage. But the doors are locked. They tell you to come back at 8 a.m. Then you come back, and they say the list is full. You came in by yourself, you sleep by yourself. You can't trust nobody out here to watch your back. Crystal's experience is not unique. It is the standard operating procedure of a system pushed to its breaking point. But if you leave downtown, the face of homelessness changes. It becomes more hidden, more insidious. Travel north to Buckhead or east to the suburbs of Decatur. Here, you won't see tent cities. You will see cars parked in the back lots of 24-hour box stores. You will see families doubled up, squeezing 3 generations into a 2-bedroom apartment until the landlord finds out and evicts them all. This is the hidden homeless population, estimated to be 20% of the total count, yet often missing from the official point-in-time surveys. The rise in these numbers from 2,867 in 2024 to over 3,100 today tells a specific story. It tells us that the eviction moratoriums of the pandemic era were the only dam holding back a flood. When those protections evaporated, the reality of Atlanta's housing market came crashing down on its most vulnerable citizens. We are seeing a phenomenon that experts call the no-address trap. It is a bureaucratic nightmare that traps thousands. Without a permanent address, you cannot get a state ID. Without a state ID, you cannot get a legitimate job. Without a job, you cannot pay rent. Without rent, you have no address. It is a perfect, closed loop of despair. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development reports that over 60% of unsheltered individuals in Atlanta are currently stuck in this cycle. They are not unemployed because they don't want to work. They are unemployed because the system requires a key to get a paycheck. Part 2. Faces of the Crisis. Who are these people? If you believe the stereotypes, you might think they are all struggling with addiction or severe mental illness. And while those struggles are real and present, they do not tell the whole story of 2025. The demographics of Atlanta's homeless population reveal deep, systemic fractures. The most glaring statistic is racial. Black residents make up 86% of the unhoused population in Atlanta. This is a staggering disparity in a city that prides itself on being a cradle of the civil rights movement. It speaks to generations of redlining, the wealth gap, and the targeted displacement of black communities as neighborhoods gentrify. Then there are the veterans, men and women who wore the uniform of this country, who were promised that their service would be honored, now make up 20% of the people sleeping under bridges. We met Wah, a 51-year-old man originally from Texas. He lives in a meticulously organized tent in an area the locals call the 100 Acres, a stretch of wooded land near the train tracks. Wah served in the military. My American dream was to be a man, he says, staring into a small fire he has built to heat a can of beans. I wanted to be the soldier. I wanted to be the provider. I didn't choose this, but when I came back, the demons came with me. And the VA. The line was too long. The paperwork was too heavy. I just stepped out of the line. And now, I'm here. Wah claims he chose this life, a common defense mechanism to preserve dignity. But look closer. Look at his hands, cracked from the cold. Look at the way he scans the perimeter, never fully relaxing. This is not a choice. This is survival. But perhaps the most shocking face of the crisis in 2025 is the working professional. The National Alliance to End Homelessness reports that 25% of Atlanta's unhoused population is currently employed. Meet Elena. She is a third-grade teacher in the Decatur school system. She has a master's degree. She shapes the minds of the next generation. And every night, she drives her sedan to a quiet cul-de-sac, reclines the seat, and sleeps next to her 2 children. I earn $27 an hour, Elena told us, fighting back tears. People think that's good money, but my rent was raised by $500 a month last year. My car broke down. That was it. One bad month. I applied for help, but I make too much to qualify for emergency shelter, and I make too little to afford a safe apartment. I am in the middle, and the middle is a black hole. Elena's story terrifies us because it destroys the myth of meritocracy. She did everything right. She went to college. She got a job. She serves her community. And yet, she is homeless. Her students think she is strong. They don't know that their teacher is grading their homework by the light of a dashboard. because she has nowhere else to go. Part 3. The Roots of Collapse. How did we get here? How did Atlanta, a city with a booming film industry and a thriving tech sector, allow this to happen? The answer lies in 3 collapsing pillars: housing, the economy, and health. First, let's talk about housing. Atlanta has experienced one of the most aggressive gentrification cycles in the nation. The Atlanta Beltline, a loop of parks and trails connecting neighborhoods, was intended to connect the city. Instead, it has become a wall of wealth. Property values along the Beltline have skyrocketed. Developers bought up affordable complexes, renovated them, and tripled the rents. A one-bedroom apartment in downtown Atlanta now averages $1,500 a month. Meanwhile, the federal minimum wage in Georgia remains stuck at $7.25 an hour. Do the math. A minimum wage worker would need to work nearly 160 hours a week for full-time jobs just to afford a basic roof over their head, without being rent-burdened. The gap is a sheer wall. According to the U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness, there are only 37 affordable rental units available for every 100 extremely low-income households in Atlanta. The vacancy rate for low-cost housing has dropped below 3%. Effectively, affordable housing does not exist. Second, the economy. We are living through the post-pandemic hangover in 2025. The inflation of the last few years has baked higher prices into every aspect of life. Milk is up 15%. Gas is over 20% higher than in 2020. Savings accounts have been drained. Credit cards are maxed out. The Georgia Department of Labor reports that long-term unemployment remains elevated among low-wage workers. Many of the service industry jobs that vanished in 2020 never fully returned, or were replaced by gig economy work that offers no benefits and no stability. Third, the crisis of mental health and addiction. 37% of the unhoused population suffers from severe mental illness. 32% battle addiction. These are not moral failings, they are healthcare crises. Yet, Georgia ranks near the bottom of the nation for access to mental health services. We closed the large institutions decades ago, promising community care, but we never funded the community care. Now, the asylum is the Fulton County Jail or the sidewalk. We see people self-medicating with fentanyl not to get high, but to quiet the voices, to numb the physical pain of sleeping on concrete, to escape the trauma of their reality for just a few hours. And looming over all of this is the threat of natural disasters. Atlanta is not on the coast, but the increasing severity of storms and flash floods in 2025 has wiped out encampments overnight, destroying the few possessions people have managed to cling to. Part 4. The system's response. The city is not blind to this. They know the crisis is escalating. The question is the response matching the urgency? Atlanta launched an initiative called Lift to Zero. The concept is holistic. Provide 1,500 people with housing, job training, and mental health support simultaneously. It is based on the Housing First model, which prioritizes getting a person under a roof before addressing sobriety or employment. The data supports this. The Urban Institute found that Housing First programs in Atlanta reduced chronic homelessness by 35% over 5 years when fully funded. But fully funded is the key phrase. Demand crushes capacity. Mayor Andre Dickens pledged 20,000 affordable units by 2030. It is a bold vision, but construction takes time. Bureaucracy takes time. And while permits are being stamped, people are freezing. The Gateway Center has attempted to innovate, offering on-site clinics with doctors, psychologists, and addiction specialists under one roof. Programs like Next Steps boast a 70% success rate in keeping participants employed. Partners for Home has done incredible work uniting the fragmented nonprofit ecosystem, trying to stop duplication of services. However, from the street level, the help feels distant. Do these initiatives reach those who need them most? Asks Marcus, a veteran advocate we interviewed. The application process is online. If you don't have a phone or your phone is dead, or you have no data, you don't exist. The help is there, but the bridge to get to it is broken. We are facing a funding cliff. Much of the progress made in 2023 and 2024 was fueled by federal pandemic relief funds. As those dollars expire in 2025, programs are shrinking just as the need is exploding. We are trying to fight a forest fire with a garden hose. Part V, Innovative Solutions. If the old ways aren't working fast enough, what will? We need to look at radical, innovative solutions that are emerging in 2025. One of the most promising developments is the rise of micro-communities. Atlanta has experimented with the Melody Project, converting shipping containers into rapid response housing. Imagine eco-friendly tiny home villages on public land. These aren't just shelters, they are communities. They offer a locking door, a private bathroom, and a sense of ownership. They cost a fraction of traditional construction and can be deployed in months, not years. A pilot village in Lakewood is now housing 85 people. Residents there report feeling safe for the first time in years. They have on-site case managers and communal gardens. It is a model of dignity by design. Then there is technology. A new smart app, piloted in 2025, connects unhoused individuals with real-time data on shelter beds, meal sites, and counselors. It uses AI to flag eviction risks before a family loses their home. The Brookings Institution estimates that these early warning systems can reduce homelessness by 20% by preventing first-time entries. We are also seeing a shift in healthcare delivery. Instead of waiting for patients to come to the hospital is going to the street. Mobile clinics are roaming the city, bringing therapy, addiction medication, and wound care directly to the encampments. This is street medicine. It builds trust. It treats people like human beings, not cases. And finally, workforce development. Education must be practical. Atlanta's Skills for Tomorrow initiative partners with technical colleges to offer free 6-week intensive courses in high-demand fields like welding, solar installation, and medical coding. We spoke to David, a veteran who completed the program. I went from sleeping under a bridge to installing solar panels on rooftops in Buckhead. He told us, a smile breaking across his face, they didn't just teach me a skill. They gave me back my name. They gave me a reason to wake up that wasn't just survival. Part VI, Community and Dignity. Ultimately, solutions must go beyond housing and jobs. They must restore the soul. Homelessness is a trauma that erodes a person's sense of self-worth. You become invisible. People walk past you without making eye contact. You stop feeling human. This is where the power of community comes in. We are seeing a resurgence of art programs as therapy. The American Art Therapy Association reports that creative expression reduces PTSD symptoms by 40% in trauma survivors. In Atlanta, murals are being painted by unhoused artists. Storytelling workshops are giving people a voice. Music circles in Woodruff Park are creating bonds between the housed and unhoused. These aren't luxuries. They are lifelines. They remind the city that the people in the tents are artists, thinkers, fathers, and mothers. Local businesses are stepping up, too. Giants like Delta and Coca-Cola are funding apprenticeships. We aren't just hiring employees, a Delta HR director told us. We are rebuilding lives. But the most critical change must happen in our own hearts. We asked every person we interviewed the same question: what form of support would help most? The answer was never money. The answer was always, see us, hear us, treat us like neighbors. Welfare reform must be transparent, accountable, and humane. It cannot be charity. It must be an investment in Atlanta's soul. Because a city is only as strong as its most vulnerable resident. When we lift them, we lift everyone. Outro, a call to action. Atlanta rises tonight with a glowing skyline. The lights of the Bank of America Plaza pierce the darkness. The traffic on the connector is a river of red and white lights. It is a beautiful, vibrant city. But beneath that light, thousands are still struggling to find shelter. Nearly 3,100 human beings are wondering if they will survive the night. The shelters are overflowing. The city is stretched thin. The causes are clear: scarce housing, economic shocks, untreated pain, and a safety net that has been allowed to fray. The response exists: tiny homes, early warning tech, flexible funds, but gaps remain. This is not just Atlanta's story. It is a mirror for dozens of American cities. It is the story of Los Angeles, of Chicago, of Phoenix. The question isn't, can we fix this? We know how to fix this. Housing first works. Support services work. Compassion works. The question is, will we? Will we choose to fund these solutions? Will we choose to demand policy changes that protect tenants? Will we choose to look at the person on the corner not with judgment, but with curiosity? Collaboration isn't optional, it's the only way forward. Most importantly, we must listen. Let those living the reality shape the solutions. Only then will change be real. Remember Elena grading papers in her car. Remember Wah guarding his tent in the woods. Remember David installing solar panels on the roof of a building he once slept behind. They haven't given up, so why should we? Their resilience is our mirror. Their struggle is our call. And their hope, fragile as it is the seed of a better Atlanta. This is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of the work. If your city is facing this crisis, what would you do? How can you help? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. Subscribe to Homeless US News to join us on this journey. Share this video not for likes, but for lives, because the road ahead needs all of us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring. Now, go out there and be someone's miracle. See you on the road.